Hello everyone, I'm Karuana with Microsoft, and I'm here today to share with you some information about driving adoption with virtual events. Let's hop in. The first thing I want you to know about is that we have created an amazing playbook for you with all of the technical guidance and information, some of which I'm going to share with you today. Make sure that you hop over and take a look at aka.ms Virtual Event Playbook. You're going to find information whether you're an organizer, a producer, an IT administrator, or a presenter with detailed screenshots that you'll need to support and deliver an amazing virtual event. We've organized our virtual event by role. So if you're an organizer or producer, you can see information that's specifically for you. You may want to view all of it, but if you want to just look at the information that's relevant to you, why, you can do that with the way we've organized it. Now, we do have content that we want everyone to review, especially about accessibility and inclusion in the events that you design. We've also included examples of events that we've run here at Microsoft. I've had the privilege of producing some pretty large virtual events ever since we've all returned home, and I think that the guidance that we're finding and we're sharing with you from those of us who have really been in the trenches will help you do the same. You're going to have questions probably, and so we want you to know that there is a virtual event community that's just for you. You can talk to folks like myself, but also other customers who are doing the work you're doing and learn. You'll find more resources, you'll have entrance to the community, and it's all free. We're here to help you make sure that you can deliver great virtual events in all of their various scale and complexity. Now, let's talk about what that really means. Compelling events are really about people. Sometimes from a technology perspective, we get hung up on all the various feature sets and the ways that we can deliver them. And we have a lot of options here in Microsoft 365. We've announced some new compelling features, but at the end of the day, make sure that you're really focused on your audience and what are they getting out of your event. That audience experience will help you make the right technology decisions, no matter what types of software you're using. Your content needs to have a follow-up life cycle. You come to an amazing event like this, well, what happens next? We want you to keep being engaged. For us, it's the Microsoft technical community and the other places that we have that you can continue your learning. But what is that for you? Make sure that you think through these things as you're planning your event. Events are no longer a destination. They fuel connection, ongoing learning, and engagement. That's very important as many of us are in different stages of our remote work life. We're sharing with you our broader event design model, and this can help you understand the best way to really acquire an audience and keep them happy. Now, if you work in a large organization like I do, this might be a little bit easy because people almost have to come to your event, especially if it's a leadership town hall or a large announcement. But if you're doing events in a public scale, then you're competing with other things for people's attention, and their attention is the most precious resource today. Many people are having virtual event fatigue, and so it's important that you have dynamic content, compelling speakers, and really do everything you can to make sure that you are earning and keeping that audience member's attention. Understand how people are going to find out about your event, educate them about what they're going to get out of it. Make sure that they have the intent and you get them to register, drive that ongoing engagement, and measure satisfaction. This framework will allow you to think through all the pieces of actually delivering virtual events. Now, for some of us, this is a little bit easier. We're delivering training or an executive town hall or something that's a little more straightforward. But you can always simplify this framework, but it's important to know the pieces of it. That will lead you to being able to make accessibility decisions, make sure you're being inclusive, pick the right technology, and have an event model that's going to be sustainable and easy to understand for the people that you are serving. We've got some digital event guiding principles. We feel pretty strongly about these, and they also come from our experience running virtual events. We've done ones just like this here at Ignite, but there's also many other kinds of events that we've been running at Microsoft during this time. And we've learned together, collectively, across our organization, some of the things that work, and we want to share that with you. Approaching with empathy and inclusion is really not optional. Again, people have choices about where they spend their time. Why do they want to spend it with you and your event? But you want to be a digital content platform. They can come and view content They can interact with other subject matter experts or people that they may not even know but want to learn from. And the media should be available on demand after the fact. Microsoft 365 makes this very simple with services like Stream and SharePoint. So you can be that digital content platform, but you can also include other third-party platforms as well. Make sure you're communicating the core narrative. As I started this session, for instance, I told you what it is that you're going to be learning. And we've continued that theme throughout this session. But you can also see that across the broader event that you're participating in. So make sure that people understand what are those core talking points that you're going to be sharing with that audience. Because that's how you're going to earn the audience's attention before, during, and after the event. Make sure people have access to the people that they want to learn from and embrace that real-time feedback. Feedback is not a bad thing. It's how you're going to make your event better. As a longtime digital producer, I can tell you that the only reason I can do well today is because of the feedback that people have given me along the way. So make sure that you have a way for attendees to share their experience. Of course, you can use typical event surveys, but make sure they're also giving you feedback on other components of the event, like was it accessible? Was it easy to understand? Did they understand why they were there and how to interact after the fact? Accessible and inclusive events are made easier with Microsoft 365. We have tools built into Microsoft Teams, to Office, and many other applications, including Yammer, that will really help you do this. We have an accessible events guide that you can download and review, and it will give you step-by-step guidance about how to think about designing an accessible event. You can make accessible emails, and we have templates for you there. And you can also turn on live captions in live events or in Microsoft Teams meetings so that people who prefer to read the commentary can do so. There's no excuse for not making your event accessible so that everyone can be included. The effort that you do on this front, it really matters. People need to be included. Never before have we needed to come together and use everyone's diverse talents to get through the situation we find ourselves in. So, use this quick list of videos that you can review to understand the simple things that you can do to be inclusive. Now, let's talk about transitioning to virtual events. The heart of your virtual event is your event team. These are the people who are going to make you successful. If you're an event producer and organizer like myself, you know that the technical team that you have and the content creators are the ones who are actually making the heart of your event. Make sure that you have the right people in the right roles. But if you're in a smaller organization, you may find yourself wearing multiple hats. I certainly have. I've been the IT team and the producer and the content organizer and the moderator. I don't recommend that, but it can be done. Depending upon the size of your organization, that may be necessary. There are some things that you'll need to do from an IT pro perspective in terms of preparing your tenant to deliver live events. There are policies to review, and we have detailed information about that in our Virtual Event Playbook. But if you are an organizer on the content side, make sure you have a strong partnership with your IT administrator. They will help you make sure that your event will go off without a hitch. At the end of the day, though, it's important to know who is the sponsor of your event. Who are the core stakeholders that are going to get the most value out of the work that you're going to put in to deliver this event? And make sure that you understand that it is quite a bit of work. Many people think that delivering a virtual event is so much simpler than doing one in person, but I can tell you from firsthand experience that that may not be the case depending upon the size and the complexity of the event that you're delivering. So, make sure that you have these people together and that you create a standard rhythm of business where you're doing your event planning, you're discussing details, and really thinking about things from that attendee's perspective. There are a variety of kinds of events that you can deliver, and they're not all created equal. Webinars are destination events that allow people to learn about a specific topic. There's usually a registration component, and people follow up afterwards, usually via email or in an online community. A virtual conference usually has multiple tracks or sessions. Online communities have events like community calls, and of course the familiar leadership town hall. Leadership town halls have become extremely important as we continue to share information as we navigate through these events that we're dealing with. And of course, last but never least, the public broadcast. So, Make sure you know what type of event you're trying to produce as you assemble your team. The scale and complexity of what you're trying to do will influence your technology choices, but also the amount of time and effort it will take to pull off a flawless event. To help you do that, we have a checklist for you. Download our checklist that will enable you to make sure that you've got all the details in order and that you understand the people and the technology that you need to pull off that event. This virtual event checklist will continue to be updated as we deliver some of the new and exciting features that we talked about today. So make sure that you are checking out the resources that we have, because this particular checklist comes from some really smart people who have done a lot of events in the field. And so you want to take advantage of their amazing knowledge. The next part is about actually selecting your event experience. Again, the meeting spectrum is broad. You want to make sure that you understand what you're going to be delivering from a meeting perspective. Are you doing a specialized scenario like one of those leadership town halls that I mentioned? Are you focused on learning and education? Or are you delivering a core message with a call to action like a webinar at the end? Some meetings are ad hoc and collaborative. Others are self-produced, meaning that you are the person who is actually going to run that Teams Live event and share content. And some are studio produced. Many organizations will hire professional studio staff, especially in a large organization, when they are trying to do a public broadcast or extremely large-scale events. It's always wise to have professionals at the helm when doing things at that scale. You have some choices in our technology stack as well. As some of you have probably heard of live events, and of course, there's a Teams meeting. On this slide, we talk about the differences between the two. And it's really about the kind of employee experience that you want to drive. Right? The live event is a little bit more formal. It allows you to structure the content. There are usually primary speakers. You do have an option for pre-recorded content. And it's important to know that, when you're using a live event for something like a keynote, there's no competing content scheduled. And so your audience is going to be in that one place. That means there may be more of them. And so the scale of a live event is important. Breakout sessions, for instance, are ones where you may want to have more interaction with your audience. This is where if you're running a conference and you have tracks of different sorts of content, much like today, your audience will then segment into their different areas of interest. And Teams meetings are the most interactive of all. Right? This allows for people to come on and turn on their cameras, ask questions interactively. All of these formats benefit from having a moderator. So definitely think about who is going to moderate the Q&A in the kind of event that you're going to do. Combination events like this that use both live events and Teams meetings are most often the digital conference. We've run several of these inside Microsoft, and I've helped multiple customers do the same. You have many people coming together to hear key information, to participate in breakouts, and then maybe give feedback in smaller sessions. This is absolutely achievable with Microsoft 365. All it takes is the right team and a little planning. To help you select your event experience, we've designed this way of walking you through the top 4 questions that you'll need to answer as you pick the technology you're going to use to deliver your event. So first off, what kind of event is it? Is it a single event, a series, or part of a broader engagement community? You've got what type of attendee experience you want to have, how many people will watch, and what level of video production is available to you. So as you make the decisions here, you can choose the appropriate kind of technology to deliver on that experience. For instance here, if you're doing a single, basically any kind of event, but you want that open two-way communication, and you want to be able to serve an event up to 300 people, then a Teams meeting is going to be for you. As we continue to make announcements around the size and scale of Teams meetings, this will continue to grow. But the key here is that audience engagement. These sorts of Teams meetings are perfect for feedback sessions or interactive hands-on labs, things that you're doing of that nature. You can build a community and have authentic connection because you can also do this inside of a Microsoft team, depending on how many people you're supporting. But it's wonderful to have Teams meetings alongside a community forum or another place where people can ask questions before, during, and after the session. If you need something more formal, you want to manage that Q&A, or this is an outbound only, a leadership town hall where maybe you're not taking questions because of the nature of the content, and you need a larger audience size, then live events are going to be for you. We continue to improve and streamline this scenario and the technology that delivers it. And I know you've heard something about that. But think about live events as that way to deliver broad scale communication to a variety of people. It's also automatically recorded, so you can share that content later. You get great engagement reports, and you have a variety of ways that you can produce a live event now that give you the benefit of all the familiar tools you may already know if you're used to doing these in Teams meetings. No matter what kind of technology you pick to deliver your event, technical readiness is what creates a smooth event. Organizing your team, working with your IT administrator, and ensuring that you have a support plan in place is absolutely essential. You don't want to be in front of a lot of people and have something go wrong with no one there to help you. So make sure you're having these conversations before and while you're planning your event. Make sure that if you're the organizer and the producer and you're filling that role of the IT administrator, and I know some of you out there do this, that you have people who can back you up. Many of us who are event producers, we like to manage things with a great amount of attention and focus on details. And so if you're like that, like me, you still need to find other people that you trust to handle different pieces of the event as you deliver it. This is absolutely essential, especially when doing larger scale conferences or multi-track events. A great event was never delivered by someone all alone. Managing a successful event from a producer standpoint is making sure, again, you define those production and support paths, have a rehearsal schedule, right? And not everyone is used to delivering in this sort of a virtual environment. And trust me, it's not the same as being in front of all of you. Many of us feed off that audience, and we really appreciate it when we're doing physical presentations. We've had to learn new tricks to make sure that the content won't be super boring as you are going through this slideware and I'm giving you this presentation. It's definitely a learned skill. So let people practice, let them get comfortable with the tools, and start early to ensure that final tests for presenters and producers can go off without a hitch. If your event is going to start at 9 a.m., schedule your Teams live meeting at least at 8:30, if not earlier, to make sure you can do those final technical checks. Make sure that you establish sign-off and post-event procedures to provide a crisp ending. There's nothing worse than not having closure at the end of a digital session. It feels very uncomfortable. So have someone assigned to close the session, close the Q&A, or make sure that your speaker has an ending in mind. But most importantly, breathe, hydrate, and enjoy yourself. An event is supposed to have an element of pleasure and fun in it. My experience teaches me that the most important thing I can do as a producer is exhale. It will all come together. Your audience doesn't know what you planned. So unless you telegraph a problem to them, they may never know. So keep calm and enjoy yourself as you deliver the event. We have best practices for managing live events. We also have best practices for managing Teams meetings and a great deal of detail in presenter readiness and content in our Virtual Event Playbook. I'm going to cover a highlight of them here, but I definitely encourage you to download those sections, especially for your presenters, so that they can understand what will make a great experience when they may be presenting from home, a place where they never intended to present from. Things like the quality of audio is one of the most important things. As a producer, it's important to make sure that you have an easy and simple way for people to get to your event. So we always use a redirection service. You'll see it across Microsoft, aka.ms something. That's our redirection service. And as a producer, that gives me the ability to reset an event should somebody inadvertently stop it. Make sure that you have that early meeting start and have audio sources muted before you start your event. You don't want to be in a situation where you have one of those awful hot mic situations where one speaker says something that they never intended the audience to hear. So as an organizer and a producer, it's your job to make sure that people aren't in that situation. A word about your presentation structure. So making sure that you have an opening slate, a video greeting potentially, and some core content. Allow your speakers to make a connection at the beginning and hopefully at the end of their presentation. We're here as people. Again, an event is about the people who participate in it. So while my content is beautiful, I hope that the fact that I am here as an actual human speaking with you today is really the most important part. So make sure that you give your speakers that opportunity. I always like to see folks, and I know some speakers, and for bandwidth reasons, may not want to turn on their video camera. So be inclusive when you're encouraging people to do that. It's not a forced thing. It should be a nice to have, but it really does make a difference, especially as we encourage people to make shorter sessions. Going back to that virtual event fatigue, it is a thing. Your brain is definitely not designed to stare at a screen 12 hours a day or 8, hopefully. You have a more forgiving schedule than mine. And so what happens is your mind actually starts to kind of not be able to take in any more information. And so having shorter sessions is definitely better. If you're used to delivering a 2-hour training on a topic, consider breaking it up in 30-minute chunks. Make them modules so that it's easier to consume and people can come back and get the information on their own schedule. Here's a real pro tip for all of you though. As organizers and producers, it's the moderators that are really the secret to success for many of our larger events. A moderator is that extra set of eyes and ears. They help you manage the Q&A and the event overall. And they're important whether you're using a Teams meeting or a live event. Presenters shouldn't have to think about anything else other than showing up and delivering their content. And it's very difficult to switch between presenting and then reading the content in a chat. So have someone assigned as a moderator. It will also allow your presenter to exhale and relax, to know that they have one job to do, and that's deliver great content. So make sure you train those moderators early. We have a moderator guide that you can download again as a part of that virtual event playbook that will help you know what to do. Now, this may not be as necessary in an individual training, but this is definitely key in leadership town halls, virtual event conferences, or longer content of any kind. Especially if you're going to do a live event for a large audience, people can ask their questions, and it's great to have a moderator repeat the question and help the speaker focus on the answer. So make sure you're recruiting those moderators as you think about what you want to do next in these various events. Now, you've organized a fantastic event, you've delivered it effortlessly. Now you have to think about what's next. Many people don't think about what to do after their event is over, but we want you to think about some key post-event actions that you can take. You want to make sure you're capturing that feedback. As I said, feedback is key to evolving your event strategy. Many of us are new at doing this. If you didn't have a professional production training, this may be the first time you're ever thinking about content and visuals and audio. And so you want to make sure that you're learning from your audience. Be open to those suggestions and insights for where you can improve. And get feedback from your own event delivery team as well as the audience and the stakeholders. But before you go trying to understand all that feedback, rest. Let that event experience settle in your mind. It's very important to not go directly from event production into feedback and postmortem without taking a break. You will find that you'll process that feedback much more easily if you allow yourself that time. So you're going to process the feedback, you're going to publish content, and you're going to think about what is the ongoing strategy and the next steps for your audience. Very important. Your audience gave you their time. What else are you going to do to keep them engaged and make sure that they come back to your next event? It's much like having a party at your home. You've invited people over, they've had a great time. You want to make sure they know how to find their way back the next time you want to have a gathering. The most important thing that you can do at the end of your event is thank your team. This is critical. They are the ones who are going to make you successful. If you are a team of one, by any chance, thank your presenters. Thank yourself. Take a day off. Make sure that you are doing this and appreciating people before you conduct an event review. People who do creative work like event production, we need acknowledgement. And it's okay to need acknowledgement. That's part of being inclusive and making sure that we are embracing diversity of thought and style as much as other types of diversity. So take your team aside, make sure you have something like a wrap party or some moment to bring closure to the event for the team who produced it. That way, the people who produce this event will also want to come back and produce another. At the end of the day here at Microsoft, we want to make sure that you can use virtual events to drive usage and adoption of Microsoft 365. But more importantly, we want to make sure that Microsoft 365 is helping you land your business outcomes. These are your messages. We are simply enabling you to get them to the right people at the right time and in the right way. Join us at the Virtual Event Hub. This community will give you all of the resources and guidance that I talked about today, and also an online community of other customers like yourselves, IT professionals, virtual event producers, and people like me. We're here to help you learn how to be a virtual event producer. It's really fun work and essential in today's situation. I hope this information today was helpful to you. There are many tools across Microsoft 365 that can help you deliver amazing virtual events. But at the end of the day, it's your audience and your message that matters. We're here to help in the virtual event community. It's a privilege to be able to work on these virtual events with all of you. So make sure that you join us in the community, and good luck producing. Thanks.